Go.
So you've spent the last couple of sessions traveling through the Chaos Cube, going through the different layers, and have come upon the conclusion that so far each of these rooms that you've come into seem to represent a different one of the seven deadly sins.
Yes, but nobody knows what the seven deadly sins is in this world.
No, that would have been something that probably the religious among you, especially, would be aware of.
Ah, okay.
You can always do a religion check to figure it out.
Yeah.
You've managed to get through all the rooms. Everybody's still left intact. Some of them were very dangerous. Other ones you figured out ways of getting through them without fighting. And now you've solved the last, which you believe to be the last one, at least of the sins wise. But one of the imps that you talked to, one of the imps that were sent in here originally, said that there's actually 8 rooms, because there are technically 8 sides to a cube. The 6 sides that you can easily see, the outside and the inside, which is, of course, an old riddle. Now, as everything clears and you see in front of you, you feel things, a couple of items dropping either out of your pockets or off of your person if they've landed on you. And you see in front of you a feather, a gold coin with a picture of a beholder on it, that little clockwork gnome, the violin that you saw in the first room. Let's see, it was the Caduceus pin that the Medusa had been wearing. Let's see, what were the other ones? 1 second, looking at my notes.
He's getting a notepad because I'm not
Yeah. A rubber nose that looked like it belonged to a clown.
Great.
Oh, fun.
Okay. This is pin. Violin. Clockwork gnome. I'm missing one.
The lust.
No, that was the feather. Feather, coin, pin, nose, violin, clockwork gnome.
Oh, the sloth.
Which would be the fruit.
Ah! Yes. Good for you. You did figure that out. And a clump of grapes.
Which people like.
All right.
And cute little dragons.
So noticeably in front of, sitting in front of you, kind of startled. Actually, no, wait, it's not there. Sorry. In front of you, you see 7 pedestals. Each of them with a phrase that resolves itself into common. Well, a word that resolves itself into common underneath as you look at them. Now, this looked like they were once another language, but before you could actually make it out, it changed to common. And you see, get over here, you little thingamajiggy. Okay, so you see envy, greed, wrath, sloth, lust, pride, and gluttony. And just beyond these pedestals, there is a gate that seems to be fogged around it. Like you can't see what's past anything else, just the gate.
This one should be easy.
Well, let's see if Vera knows what a sin is. Seeing as it's very prominent. Oh!
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so you definitely have heard of the 7 deadly sins before. That there's some debate as to whether they belong to the 9 hells or to various aspects of the abyss or both. But that they have like a myriad of representations in what they mean. There's also contrasting virtues to each of them. So it's like that means you have because of that 24. You get advantage on if you look at any of these items and try to figure out what they belong to, which pedestal they go to. So you get advantage on a check for that.
Okay.
Cool.
So.
Vera's just like, 7 deadly sins, huh?
Yeah, so we'll use you as the expert.
Yeah. You know what to do.
There's 7.
Coin. Yes.
Coin is greed, I presume.
Well, the coin
Yeah.
has to be greed. I mean,
Alright.
there's no way we're gonna get that one wrong.
Yes. The casino.
We were so
So it's-
confident. It's wrong. We died.
Yeah. She'll put the coin on greed.
Am
Alright.
I missing a gold?
Yes.
Oh fuck! That's my copy. God damn it!
Okay, so what I have you guys do? I'm typing these out. I just realized that that's something I should have done beforehand. You guys put down the various item that I mentioned. Like one of you type it in, like whenever you feel confident, and just like set it underneath of whichever of these sin pedestals you believe it
map.
belongs to. Yep.
Okay.
I mean, as a player, I think I've got it figured out.
Yeah. Shuri's is not. Shuri can kind of understand these, to be fair, because.
Yeah, I've always got with the thing that if you as a player have it figured out, then your character can know it unless your character is listed as a stupid stupid, which is always possible. Oh, let me move that 1 second. I wanted to put these a different color so that they're not the same color as what you're writing.
Fair enough.
There you go.
Ah, perfect.
What were all the items again? I'll keep forgetting.
Actually, I'm gonna put these a space apart so it makes it easier to.
Oh, okay. I'll just put it
there we
on the square down like that. Like that.
Yeah.
That looks nicer.
So
So,
Shiori picks up the coin and puts it on top of greed. Nothing seems to happen so far. Will has grabbed the pin. Where do you think the pin goes, Will?
This
from
seems
where did
prideful.
Hold on.
where did we get
Doctor.
Did
The
I
pin was from.
you
from
say,
Medusa.
thought you could save everyone?
Yep. I feel that's pride to me. What do you think?
Let me just double check. So what do I make?
I'm gonna let you do a intelligence check with advantage. Yeah, you look at that and think Medusa, medical, pride. Yeah, there's a lot of pride in both of those sort of things.
I don't
That
want to
pin
get this wrong now.
that
Go
pin
with
most
the
likely
one
belongs
medical.
under pride.
I won't stop Will from putting that on pride.
So we'll probably go and see. So pick up the gnome next, the little mechanical gnome.
Not me, no.
Not you. The mechanical.
Where?
One. This one came from that troll that was eating.
Gluttony.
Huh? Yeah.
And she'll. I'll just put mecha gnome.
I like that.
Gnome.
Mecha gnome.
When we get all 5 mech gnomes, we get a mecha lord.
That's pretty cool.
Tron.
So we have the mask. The clown boy was very angry, so wasn't that rough?
I
Yes.
think so.
Okay.
Literally, it wasn't angry if I remember what you said, Varian.
Yes.
That was a little nose.
Clown nose.
Oh, that's clown nose. Oops.
Mask, clonos. You can push whatever. I know what you're talking about there.
Okay.
She'll grab the grapes, I guess, next.
Yes. Cinder flies over
Oops.
to Shiori with the grapes.
We did have the things when they went to sleep, so I guess swap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They also didn't seem that angry, which they should seem like, I presume, because they looked very angry. So that's probably stuff, yes. Because they were too lazy to fight.
Yeah, there was all that magic around too.
So we have a violin and a feather.
Well, the violin should go to Envy, right?
Well, that's the only logical place for it.
I mean,
Yes.
The feather would go to.
fine. Yeah, I guess feather for bats. I guess I don't know.
Well, they did have feather fans, didn't they?
Not sure.
Well, they had fans. I don't know
Do you
if
want
they
to verify? Well, do you want to think about it before we place these lines too? Fair.
Well, yeah.
Alright, Baron will try and figure out where the feather goes.
Yeah,
Alright.
Hmm. Let's see. You remember seeing that feather on the succubi and the what was it, Merilith dancers at that club, and while that inspires lust, it could also be a statement of something to envy because they were so beautiful and so well skilled, and you guys had to replicate their skills. So it could really go either way. You're not sure.
So
You
which
know
one
what?
is it, Baron?
Let me have a look at the loot.
It's not a lute, it's a violin.
But whatever, they're the same thing to me.
Hold on, let me just place it on this pedestal over here, you can have a look at it.
The barbarian.
No.
It's going to kill you. Well, the it was being played by a woman in a Victorian gown. She was playing it softly and melodically. That's for some people that inspires lust. But around her were these things that were so full of loneliness that seemed to envy people's company. The need for company. They want to possess you, which could also be a bit greedy as well.
Alright, we'll put that on the envy.
And slap!
That should be the feather.
All right, all of the pedestals light up at once, and all of you feel very warm all of a sudden. I've been wanting to do this for a while because I actually discovered how much I hate dealing with XP. And I decided after 2 years in this particular one, I would finally ditch the XP and move everybody to milestones. But I was thinking, we've got different characters here. So this leads it to something very perfect because of the substance of the cube. All 6 of your characters here right now are boosted to the highest level in this particular party, which I believe is level 10.
That's me.
Giori and Will.
What?
Joey and Will at level 10, so that means now Lanissa, Urk, Phaedra, and Viren are all now level 10 as well.
I thought Phaedra was highest level.
No, Phaedra was sidelined for a long time so everybody could catch up.
Yeah, she let me on and play in the Nine Hells,
Well, that's a major level boost.
and that's
Holy
for this particular group of 6. All of you are now
I've
level
almost
10.
doubled.
God
Yay,
damn it,
milestone!
I was only 5,000
Oh,
away from
wow.
level 11.
An 8. That's nice.
Now I can't have that. Everyone else goes a level, but I don't. Oh, this is so unfair.
I was planning this for if you guys manage to solve this puzzle in one go without making any mistakes.
Yay.
And you did. You figured out you kept
So
you
they're
kept
level 10.
you kept your notes. You figured out which each of these items and remembered which these items went where, and from there which room went to what. So
It's level 10, right?
yes, all of you are now all 6 of these characters in this room are now level 10. Shiori, Will, Lanissa, Urk, Phaedra, and Viren.
Fuck yeah!
Are you happy we took Vera along now?
Yes. I mean, then again, I would have preferred to take. I think I would have preferred to take Biddy.
So-
then
You know,
he should have
Baron's good enough.
volunteered.
So Viren, suddenly you feel your whole body just kind of shift, and you feel your mind expand with more knowledge.
Fluffy.
And meanwhile,
Finally beat Shiori.
Will is just standing there like, I don't really feel anything at all.
You probably look around and see Urk's muscles bulging even bigger. Phaedra, I don't know what effect it has on Phaedra, but she is now 102, so which is good for the HP wise.
Only by one, but I'm on. Woo!
Lanissa's looking more stealthy, and Viren just looks more smug.
Viren looks more smug.
And Will just
dare
looks
you.
old.
Phaedra does get one thing that could. I think she gets it. Where's my player's handbook? It didn't pop up on her thing, but I think she gets it at level 7.
Yes.
Know thy enemy? Yeah.
Enemy.
It didn't pop up on Character Mancer, but I'll add it and I'll put
What
it
does
in
that mean
chat.
exactly?
Basically, if she witnesses or observes somebody for 1 minute, she can basically gain information regarding that individual. Basically,
1 minute on the combat, yeah.
yeah. DM tells you if the creature is equal, superior, or inferior in regards to 2 of the following characteristics of your choice: strength score, dex score, con score, armor class, current hit points, total class levels if any, fighter class levels if any. So
Inferior.
yeah. So I will copy paste that on her sheet.
Oh man. No one can ever keep me trapped again. I have free teleport forever.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna be a normal bard when we see a dragon.
Oh god. Oh god. What did I help him create?
just remember, male dragon top.
Oh my.
I've seen that meme before on
TikTok.
I never pay attention to. I don't even know what that is. On Facebook and even on Pinterest and all that. Yeah, that can kill you.
Yeah.
That's
Good luck.
That's a pretty awesome shit, Phaedra.
Oh, and I do magic damage with my fists. Nice.
Magic hands.
Yeah.
6th level
It's gonna
monk.
take
Good
me
for you.
forever to figure out what spells I want.
7th level bard. Huzzah.
Just let me know when you guys are ready to continue. And if you're still sorting and you don't mind a little bit of role play, we can do that too. I can describe what you see before you.
Oh shit, what the...
Oh god.
Hold on, look, check what I got on my new level.
You didn't get a new level.
I don't know.
You get spell slots. You get spell slots as a...
I thought you had
a-
that since you got like the invisibility cloak with the elven boots. You're nothing.
Will is just gone.
There's nobody here. Nobody here, but it's nothing.
Next level, uncanny dodge. Can't wait.
Okay, dodge is lovely.
Mm-hmm.
That's just prompted by any damage you would take, pretty much. It's just like, oh, reaction half of that. Because rogue bullshit.
I need it. I have a lower hit die than most people.
Yeah, you've got Viren in the party. You're in the middle of the pack, because Viren's here and he doesn't even have. I don't even think he has 30 hit points, and Will is
Well,
also here. He's got less hit
now
points
he
than you and
does.
Alyssa.
I mean, now I have over 30, but
All right, but still, he's basically got half of your hit point pool, Lunissa.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
What? He
Yeah,
also has
that's
the power of magic.
Mm. Yeah, he has the power of magic. I just have the power of knives.
And punching.
And monk bullshit.
That's sneak attack.
Don't talk about sneak attack. It doesn't exist. Okay.
Ooh, I love this song.
Also, don't forget, Grizz. I still don't have a shirt, so this is gonna be interesting.
Peck dancer.
Oh god. You know what's also fine about Shadow Step? Apparently, I get advantage on my next attack. Sneak
Yeah.
attack. Ah, nice. So nice.
Text one of the party members. Fucking hell.
From now on, every battle we fight is like directly under the sun. Feature useless.
And now I can charm creatures. Yay! Who knows? I might get a. Also, it says that they're friendly. It doesn't mean that they're being seduced.
I know what charm does.
This is fine.
But then again, seducing a dragon would.
And that is how Urk dies.
Oh, I saw a meme, right? It's like a bard rolls to seduce the dragon, gets a nat 20. Yes, okay.
Go for yeah, I know.
Dragon
Twirling morphs into you. That's the other possibility. But then again,
And a
you know,
morph
for a very narcissistic bard, that's not a problem.
What I'm trying to say is that you can go fuck yourself, Jerry.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm tired of your bullshit. Fucking love that.
Well,
know
yeah,
what
if
you
the
should
bard's
do, Grim?
immediately assuming that what the form is gonna be, that's the bard being annoying.
You know what you should do, Grizz, at some point? Search up D&D TikToks. It's definitely worth your time.
I got the same sort of stuff on Pinterest and on my Facebook feed.
Ah. I've been getting way too into D&D TikToks lately. Like, way too into it.
You'll probably find some of the same on my Pinterest under one of my D&D or D&D stuff or stuff I'm saving for later.
Uh-oh. She's saving stuff.
No, it's or just stuff I'm saving. Like it's got just interesting stuff on there.
Ooh, I got a legendary bow. I'm kind of playing Assassin's Creed Origins at the moment.
Fun.
I'm really enjoying it because it's not like most Assassin's Creed games where you have to climb shit.
But that's the fun of the Assassin's Creed games, climbing shit.
I don't know. I found it a little bit more tedious than anything in the other
The
games.
stuff I don't like in the later games is the stupid sailing stuff. It's like I don't really care about your sailing. Can I just skip over this part and get back to land combat? I don't like trying to control
Yeah.
a stupid ship.
But then again,
not a
getting onto the
spaceship.
bigger ship, the bigger enemy ships, and you're just on the sides, and then all of a sudden you reach up, put them straight into the water, and somehow they
Yeah, now that's
instantly
different.
die.
But I'm saying is trying to control naval battles. I hate doing that.
Hey,
So,
I now
well done.
have teleportation circle.
Oh,
Oh,
that
no.
is going to be very useful, Varen.
Oh dear.
Yay!
Varen is now the most now the most useful wind star.
I can now create
guys.
teleportation circles, and because I've now just learnt it, I get what, 2? Does it? 2? I don't know of 2 sequences? Yeah. I think. Hang on, let me.
Hey guys,
Yep.
we might need to put a stop to Vera.
Yeah.
It is doing that.
Varen.
Yeah,
Okay.
we need
Yeah.
we need to put a stop to him before he becomes even worse than the end boss.
He'll be fine.
How do we know he isn't the end boss? For all you know, one of you might actually become the end boss, depending on
He'll
how
be
things
fine.
go.
I've only got contact other plane as well. Modify memory.
Oh god, guys,
It's fine. It's fine.
guys.
Don't
What
worry
if-
about
what
it.
What if Rick has been working with Grizz backstage?
Oh, that would be funny, but no.
Do you think Rick can hold a secret that long?
Yes.
Yep,
That's a good answer.
I lived with him. I lived with him. Yes, he can.
We're just waiting on Phaedra to come back.
Phaedra left.
It's-
Oh, she went to the bathroom.
Ah. In that case,
Now,
I
how
might
many
go grab.
Spells can I have prepared? Forgetting.
Does Viren have a familiar?
Okay, I'll be real quick.
He did, and he has the power to find a familiar. I like to think that when he left, when he was doing his own little thing, he left his familiar got left behind. Is what I like to think. When he teleported here.
Well, he can always pull it in, but yeah.
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 I don't have a
Lograt
prepared, so
didn't.
technically.
Lograt did not think about summoning a familiar in with you. He was just summoning you in.
My poor familiar.
And you failed. You failed your saving throw against preventing yourself from being summoned.
It would have been funny if I succeeded. Then I have to roll again to decide who else.
Yeah, you would have been like, wait a second, what was that trying to pull me away?
Like, about to kill the person. I was like, wait. Nope, never mind. Uh. How many spells can I prepare?
So Tobias, thank you again for sharing building materials and fruit with me.
No, that's fine.
Your island looks amazing. It's like I've only got like there's my house, and then I've got two people's houses. I've got the museum being built. I've got the store being built.
Yeah.
And I went island hopping today and invited two other characters to come live on my island. So
Yeah. I mean, it takes a while to get things started.
yeah.
I'm at
Yep.
the point where
All that stupid iron mining, that was the worst.
I'm at the point where I'm digging up fossils, and I rarely get one I don't have, and I never go and punch rocks anymore because I have all the resources I need.
Hmm.
Oh, I also have this spell now too.
Nice.
I only got
I'm
to a
sure
point where I
that's
can get
fine.
spells that I want.
You know?
I wish there was more businesses you could get opened up on your island. I would love to have a cafe opened up on the island. You have to
Well,
supply them
think-
with fruits and fish. Well, apparently you don't eat the fish that you catch. But yeah, I would love to supply them with fruits and fishes if it was a game like that.
Well, I think stuff like that are going to be added.
Ooh, that would be cool. 'Cause that's the sort of stuff I kind of sort of simulate in Minecraft at times.
Some people went digging through the files and they found like mentions of like a coffee place or stuff, something like that.
That would be cool. It's like if you meet the right person while you're island hopping, that they are interested in building not just building a home but a business on your island. That'd just
Oh,
be
yeah.
the cool thing to
One
find.
Of one of the people who live on your island, the bird person, looks like a crackhead.
Oh, the little sparrow dude.
Yeah.
He's a gym rat actually. He basically wants to have his own free weights, but he goes off fishing most of the time.
Does he ever close his eyes?
I'm not sure. The other one, I forget what she is, a goat maybe? It seems to be like a hippie or something.
Hmm.
Okay, me back, and I got my companion.
Welcome back. I
Welcome
guess we're
back.
still waiting on Shuttle.
Ooh, cutie.
I check out the spell I can cast now.
Oh, what can you cast? Oh God.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's still terrifying. I can't believe that that's an actual spell.
What?
'Cause that is terrifying.
What? Wait.
Storm of Vengeance.
Oh.
9th
That is
level.
a terrifying 9th level spell.
Would it even scare, what's his name? Gamel? Would it scare Gamel?
You don't know. You have no way of knowing what would scare him.
That thing is just
Welcome
deadly.
back,
That would
Phaedra.
kill Galmel.
You don't know.
It's a radius of 360 feet on a point you can see.
Yeah.
One thing
rain.
that requires
Science.
that does lightning damage as its main
And
component.
acid, and then
But lightning is its biggest one.
Bludgeoning.
So anything that's immune to lightning would not be that. Just for example, like a storm giant.
I wouldn't take that much damage because I'm a lightning
Fund the
person.
damage.
Anyway,
the fact that it just keeps stacking on itself is what walls it.
yeah. So you guys all ready? All right.
I am.
So the mist
Hey.
begins to clear a bit in front of you, and you hear a creak as the gate in front of you opens, even as the petals vanish. Sitting directly in front of the gate, kind of peering out, you suddenly see is the last of the imps that did not come back, who seems to just be sitting there watching. Lunissa, you also notice a still humanoid form kind of standing in the shadows off. It's still on the same side of the gate as you guys, but kind of way off to the side, just kind of standing there. Your passive perception, you would see them.
Hello, person?
The imp just kind of turns around and looks at you all.
No, like that person. I point at him.
The person cloaked in shadows does not move, does not seem to respond to your comments.
I'll walk up. Wait, he's cloaked in shadows.
Sort of. It's kind of like there's a very shadowy spot, and the figure is just standing there. I was using that as alliteration, not as in, physical, magical, cloaked in shadows sort of thing.
Yeah. Can I walk closer and
As you get closer, you see that it is another one of those faceless people. Female from the look of the form. Another one of those Victorian-style dresses. She is holding a silver tray with a silver teapot sitting on top of it. Meanwhile, as you, Lunissa, kind of wander off to look at her, the rest of you see a bit past the imp, and you see it's at a distance, but you get this feeling that you probably can't fire any weapons or spells beyond the limit of the gate that's in front of you. You have this weird sense in the back of your head that it's that between you and the gate, it's basically you're looking at something that's at a major distance, but it looks like it's close by, as if you're staring at a TV screen, except that if you stepped through that gate, you would actually be on the other side of the TV screen, if you know what I mean. But that things like spells or thrown weapons or like missile weapons would not work. Like, you could look at the figures that are standing on the other side arguing with each other, but you wouldn't be able to fire at them. You wouldn't be. They also probably can't see you at the moment either. So the people are looking past the gate, looking past the imp, who's kind of like looked up and is kind of got this weird terrified expression for an imp, kind of looking at you. And the first things you see are some sort of large, hulking, gorilla-looking creature, and what appears to be a vulture with a large vulture creature with arms, kind of standing in front of two pedestals. Um, Standing across them, across what looks to be a large shimmering crystal of some kind, uh, is a horned woman with wide feathery wings and a humanoid figure with chains all around their body. You also sort of see two other figures kind of off to the other sides of this weird large crystal, but you can't really make them out from where you're standing inside the gate. And they're definitely arguing back and forth in a combination of infernal and abyssal. Who speaks both?
I speak infernal.
I speak gnomish.
Melissa, since you wandered off to look at the other figure, you can't actually hear them from here.
But I speak Abyssal.
Shuri, Phaedra, Frieren?
Nope.
Dwarvish and
I
common.
speak Celestial.
Guys,
Yeah. So you have no idea what this argument's about. But the imp is like staring up at the rest of you and goes, huh, where did you guys come from? The big guy sent you?
Yes.
essentially.
Yeah, we got a situation. I think the only way out might be through this gate, but, well, I don't know what happened to the others, but it kind of goes into them, and I really don't want to deal with them. They look
Have you
scary.
tried talking to them?
Oh no, I'm not leaving this gate. They don't seem to be able to hear me or see me from over here, but I figure as soon as I get past this gate, they're gonna notice me, and I don't think it's gonna be pleasant.
Well, Grizz, you mentioned something about not being able to fire spells.
Spell. It doesn't look like anything. Anything like spells, objects, anything, noise, light. Nothing seems to be getting. Basically nothing can be fired from here. You can't use the gateway that they can't see you from as a way of sniping them or anything like that. It looks like you would have to actually step onto the other side to do
you
anything.
have to be through it to do it. Okay.
Right.
Well,
You're just basically seeing a
This-
projection of them from what you can gather.
this seems like a great moment to use an old spell that I really never thought I'd ever use, simply because it's never come up.
Oh, nice. Oh, wait. You have to touch the creature.
You're touching yourself?
Oh.
Get it?
The creature
Touch
you
spell.
touch the ability.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm giving myself the ability to understand
Okay.
the language I hear.
Alright, so you hear the following argument that is in a combination of infernal and abyssal. In fact, it looks like both parties speak a fractured bunch of both, so that the language being spoken is neither fully abyssal nor fully infernal. And it's odd because, looking at them and going, there are representations of beings from both the abyss and the nine hells, and yet they're just having a discussion with each other. And the discussion that you hear is as follows. It's like, but we killed we killed 6. We should have all 6 souls. And it's like, you're the one that let that final soul get away just because apparently she got raised from the dead or something along those lines. You were the one that was supposed to keep track of them. We were supposed to have extra, not the other one. Another one argues, but it wasn't us that killed them in the first place. It was those mercenaries. They were supposed to kill that entire family. They let 3 of the children live. It's like, well, they didn't know about the 2 that were hiding in the closet. We only found out about them later. Yeah, but they should have taken the girl, they should have killed the oldest. Instead, they took her away with them because they thought she was fun. And they're having a fight about this. And it's like, and the other one mumbles like, I can't believe someone managed to resurrect the mother. It's like, they just managed to risk her soul out of our hands. They didn't bother with the other kids or the grandmother. Yeah, still need one more soul. If we can get one more soul, we're good here. And the argument keeps going round and round. It's almost as if you keep basically seeing a fractured point of time where this argument keeps happening, and it's as if they're unaware that they're having the same argument over and over and over again because they're trapped in this moment of time. It seems that's basically what you get from hearing this conversation looped like this. But at the same time,
Okay.
you know it's not a record. At the same time, you get the sense that it's not a recording, but that if you enter
that's
in
actually happening over and over again.
as it's actually happening over and over again, as if they're not aware that it's happening over and over again. But you, as an
Okay.
independent observer, are hearing them. It's like one of those looped NPC conversations you see in video games.
Vern's just staring at them as they talk. What the hell?
What?
Well, they seem to be after one more soul for something. They apparently killed 6 people. Honestly, it's a bit confusing. And they seem to be stuck in a loop of saying the same thing over and over again.
Stuck in a loop. You say.
Like they don't realize that it's actually happening.
And as you guys are having this conversation, Lanissa, what are you doing?
So I'm walking.
You're kind of standing in front of the faceless at the moment.
I look at the teapot.
All right.
Does she do anything while I walk up to her?
Nope, she's just standing there like a statue almost.
Okay. I'm gonna take my water flask. I'm gonna finish it off. Like, drink it empty.
You. Okay, so let me before you do that. Finish doing that. Phaedra, you cast Detect Magic. You see a strong pull towards the gate in front of you, but there's also a thread that's leading off in the direction that Lunissa is currently standing in. And as Lunissa reaches to the teapot in order to fill it up with water, the magic there flares up suddenly. What do you do?
No, I don't want to fill up the teapot. I want to empty the teapot into my
Okay,
bag.
you're emptying the teapot. Either way, you're going to pick up the teapot. Phaedra, Lunissa, roll initiative to see which one of you gets first.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Oh
Well,
god.
the dice gods have it. Okay. All right.
Lunissa
Lunissa picks up the teapot before Phaedra has a chance to warn that the magic is swelling up as she reaches to touch it. And suddenly, rather than the gateway in front of you that looked like it was about to lead you into a really possibly massive, nasty battle with a group of bizarre fiends, the entire scene in front of you just seems to unravel, shake, and instead of being an outdoor area, seeing a large, crystal and fiends and all sorts of really, really scary stuff, or at least what most people consider scary, you find yourself in what looks like a very pink, frilly drawing room, where every shelf contains some kind of doll sitting upon it. And in front of you is a table all laid out with a nice silver teapot in the center, which Lunissa is currently holding and lifting it up off the table, and a series of cups and saucers. There are several child-sized dolls sitting in the chairs, their hands reaching out for the saucers, unmoving. And you hear a little girl's voice say, "Oh, I have some new friends."
Yay. I was wondering if I could get some tea.
Lunissa!
What just happened?
I wanted some tea. I think this is better than the other one, to be fair.
I mean, to be fair, probably.
The little girl, what you see in front of you is a little girl in a pink dress with auburn hair and ringlets. And she looks like she's like 5 or 6, and she has pure black eyes.
No.
Oh,
Geese.
isn't that cute?
Oh, but yeah. It's like, new friends. Please sit. Please sit and enjoy the tea. Even as she says this, the dolls that were sitting in the chairs, there are 7 chairs altogether. The dolls that were sitting in the chairs all fall out of the chairs, leaving the cups untouched.
Do those bears look strangely
No,
weird?
they
Like-
look like child-sized dolls, like
yeah, but
like children. They don't
are
look like
they
bears.
How many
dressed
dolls are
like not your normal dolls would be dressed? Like,
They-
are they wearing adventurer gear or anything like that?
No, these ones are wearing children's clothing.
there? How many dolls are there?
There were 6 dolls sitting in the chairs, and there's dolls sitting on the shelves all
6?
around you.
6 on the chairs.
There were 6 on 7 chairs. Yes.
One more 6 and we summon Satan.
So
not
in
sitting
this
on that
room,
chair.
is there a door?
There are 2 doors actually. There is the door that the little girl is currently standing in front of, and there's a door somewhat behind you.
Does Phaedra still have detect magic up?
Yes, I'm trying to figure out what the magic would be in this place. The magic suddenly has changed from what you were expecting, like, what was definitely part of that whole cube thing, to something else entirely. I'm just not sure how to phrase it. Like, there's low-level background magic, the same way there's, like, low-level background radiation in our world. So wherever you are, it's someplace that has magic initially to it. The little girl is definitely lighting up as a being of magical power. I'm trying to think of what the classifications that would be. It doesn't. I have a hard time classifying anything as actual classification in sorts of schools of magic. Instead, it's just the girl definitely possesses a lot of magic. Just like you would see like low levels on Viren and some stronger levels on your pet. She has she's a magical being, and levels on Lunissa, levels on Will, the levels around Shiori are mostly on her weapon, low levels on Eric, that sort of thing. Cinder is highly magical, and Viren possesses a lot of magic.
So, how often do you have guests over?
Oh, it's been a while since the last time I had new friends. Sit! And she just basically looks at all of you and waits for you to sit down.
I'm very sorry.
Oh, I don't trust sitting down.
I'm very sorry if I come over rude, but we've been through a lot while we were here, and we are very skeptical about things, so we don't know if it's safe to go sit down.
Her voice deepens and it says, "Sit down." Everybody roll a wisdom saving throw that hasn't sat down yet.
Oh, fuck me.
It's a charm
Heck
effect.
is sitting down.
So that's everyone.
It would technically be a charm effect, yes, Shuri.
So is this a magical effect?
Yeah.
It is, Will. You get advantage on that.
Shuri's like, no.
I have advantage too.
I have advantage too because of Cinder.
I have
and
advantage too.
Everyone has advantage.
So everyone is not sitting down, is what you're saying. Is what
No,
you're saying.
X sitting. X sitting.
So
because
Eric
he
doesn't.
wanna focus.
Eric doesn't need to roll. Okay.
Things are lagging on my end, so we'll roll in a minute.
Let me put out the table just so that I can.
It'll roll eventually. I feel like this is just like RP wise what happened. But I think the 25 is just because her voice deep and she's like, oh, that's a fiend. Fuck that thing.
Does Phaedra see any magical essence on the chairs, by the way?
Nothing special, no.
Okay.
No special magical essence on the chairs. Hold on, I'm trying to find a good round table for this. Yeah, this will have to do.
Go poorly.
All right, so anyone who got less than okay. Instead of saying what the DC is, I'll say that Viren, you find yourself sitting. Phaedra, you find yourself sitting.
I'm still waiting on my thing to stop lagging.
Okay.
But can you roll for me, Grizz? I have advantage because of ancestry.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So you also, Lanissa, you also find yourself sitting down.
Uh,
The little girl just casts her black eyes at Sherry and Will, who are not sitting, uh, and goes and sits down herself at the table. And she points at Lanissa. You picked up the teapot, which means you get to serve.
Question, Grace.
Mhm.
If she sits down and looks at Lanissa, she's not looking at me and Fiori anymore.
No, she's not.
what kind
I'll
of
go
tea is
invisible.
this?
It's a hibiscus tea.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm allergic.
I'm gonna insight this just because it's gonna determine what she does.
She
No.
seems truthful, but she's still pointing at Lanissa. Pour the tea.
Okay, but I can't drink it because I'm allergic. I start pouring out tea.
It's a lovely scent coming from the tea glass, the little cups of tea.
Will is going to go and open the door that she was standing in front of.
Well, it's not. It wasn't actually closed. It's just a doorway, and it leads to a hallway. And standing right outside, you see a faceless individual with in kind of like a butler's outfit, holding a tray with little tea cakes on it.
And it's a corridor leading to other places.
It seems to stretch on. It's hard to tell. It's like one of those things of you can tell you're definitely not in any type of normal house. The proportions are way off on this corridor. It just seems to stretch and stretch, and while it looks like there are windows, they don't actually seem to view anything. There's just kind of a reddish glow behind them, as if they're really just lights, and a dim light at that. So as Will stands in the corridor looking out, the little girl just claps her hands together, and the faceless butler that Will was looking at walks in with the little tea cakes and sets it down on a on the table in front of you, like putting out the little sorry, she sets down the little tray thingies because the teapot itself is set down in the middle again. But you know those little mini cake stands, you know the little 3-tier things, with yeah. So he sets several of those down, like but 4 of those, and there's like little frosted cakes. There are little cucumber sandwiches. There's basically anything you would expect at an actual tea fancy tea party.
Anything magical popping off of this?
No, that just looks like food on your senses. There is, of course, the type of magic on the faceless once more.
Yeah.
So Shigori, you're still standing?
Still standing and just staring at the scenario. Like I said,
The little girl picks up her teacup and sips it gingerly before she casts her black eyes on you and says, "You are being very rude."
you're forcing people to do what they don't want to do. I feel that's more rude.
You will go and sit in the corner. Shiori, re-roll your throw once again at advantage. All right. This time, you kind of feel your entire body just kind of move. You turn away from the table, and you find yourself marching into the corner and sitting down on a small stool as a conical hat suddenly appears on your head, and you're sitting there with your back to everybody.
Phaedra's gonna try to stand up, but I don't think she's gonna be able to because she
You're
failed
still
that
you're
save.
still under the influence.
So yeah, she's struggling right now.
Will is just gonna say from being invisible, naughty children don't get cookies, and I cast blight on the cookies.
Oh god.
All of the lovely desserts that you guys see in front of you that are being offered for your enjoyment
Aw.
have suddenly turned nasty and are decaying right in front of you. The little girl
Try to
gasps.
behave yourself, child.
I'm just gonna go like, do you know Galen Cole? We're kind of looking for something about him.
She seems to ignore you as she whips her head around, looking this way and that, but clearly can't see Will anywhere. It's like, there's some naughty man messing with my food!
Don't worry, he'll behave if you're nice towards us. Bah!
I am being very nice. I was giving you a very nice spread of food, and he went and destroyed it.
Yeah, but you kind of forced us to sit down as well, so... Anyway, do you know
Roll
this game?
roll persuasion check.
Yes, persuasion. That's my specialty. Yes. Pretty okay.
Oh, horrible.
For the one time I played non-bot, that's pretty okay.
She claps her hands again, and the faceless butler, once more comes over. She says, "Get rid of all of this. Look for that wicked invisible man. He's going to has to be punished more than just the corner."
I cast minor illusion on the dunce cap, I guess, that you already got.
Yeah.
And on it, it's just a little meter that says anger level rising.
Ooh.
And it's like blinking red.
God. Yeah. Look, guys, calm down. She just wants to have a tea party. How about we ask her some questions? Maybe she knows something. She seems like a smart girl.
All right. Let's start with the one that you asked.
Do you know a Galen Cole or anything that could help us find him?
She still seems to be ignoring you as she finishes drinking her tea and sets it down and takes a look around. And she looks back at you and says in a looks back at the four of you and says in a much more calmer voice, "Do you want to play dollies with me?"
We might play dollies, but we first want to have like a bit of a conversation, because
No,
you know.
we play dollies. Then maybe we talk.
Does Lunissa have patience? That's the question. I don't know.
That evil little invisible man destroyed my tea party. I will not talk because of that.
damn it,
Is
Will.
there more food out? Is there more food out?
No, Will destroyed it all.
Ah, goddamn. Okay.
What about the story time? What if we tell you some stories?
Roll a new
Fatal-
persuasion check.
Fader will pull out a ration and put it on the table. Here you go. Here's some
Oh,
food.
God. Why are you all being so sassy towards this little girl?
Is that sassy? She wanted food. Replaced it.
That's not fancy cakes. We play with dolls. And she just kind of gets up from the tea table and walks over to some of the dolls that are on the wall and picks one up. It looks like a ventriloquist dummy. Its mouth just kind of gapes open as she holds it, and she looks at the group of you. Who wants to talk with Mr. Tea Time?
Sure, I'll talk with Mr. Tea Time.
And she hands you the ventriloquist dummy.
Oh, with Mr. Tea Time. Okay. Everything is safe, right? Mr. Tea Time doesn't hurt people normally, right?
Not if you do him right, no.
Not if I do him right.
Kinda just fucking grins.
So how okay, so can you tell me a bit more about yourself, Mr. Tea Time?
Roll a performance check.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Don't,
Phaedra's
This
gonna
scene-
turn into a doll.
this is what happens if I don't fucking play a bard. I get asked to make persuasion rolls. My other characters plus 15 persuasion.
You're the one that's talking. That's why.
It was performance, right?
No, it's
Yes.
performance.
Yeah,
Oh,
persuasion.
okay, good. That was a shit roll anyway.
Oh god.
Well, there were
Oh,
both
no.
3, so the first one actually stands.
Okay.
I guess.
I mean, that's a little better.
I should have just poisoned the tea.
The dummy's eyes start to glow, and the mouth just kind of starts working itself back and forth, even with your hand stuck in there. Your hand also doesn't seem to want to pull out.
Okay, Mr. Tea Man.
Ek will get up from his seat and be like, "Hey, can I have a try
Can
of
you
that?"
get up from his seat?
Roll a
Here,
persuasion,
Dave.
Eric. Roll a persuasion check.
Okay. Persuasion.
The dummy, the ventriloquist dummy lets go of Linus's hand and falls onto the table in front of Irk.
Yes. Puts it on.
Roll a performance check.
Hell.
For Chris.
You're never gonna see a
I
ventriloquist like
see that. I'm
this.
not sure what.
I have a different question too.
Okay, what question do you have?
Can I turn my head at all, or no?
Let's see. Yeah, she's currently distracted. You may turn your head. So there's currently a ventriloquist dummy on Irk's hand, seemingly melding itself there. And the jaw just kind of drops open a bit and says, "Hey all, how is everybody?"
Good.
I don't think I
Tad
said that.
confused.
Kind of freaked out.
We have some questions.
And yeah, there is some low level magic coming off of that doll, by the way, Phaedra.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of questions do you have?
First off, what is your profession? Like, what do you do for a jaunty live life happiness thing?
Well, I try to keep Callista here entertained. What else is there?
Yeah, that sounds like a fun job. Do you know what like Callista knows? Like, does she know any powerful people?
Yeah, she knows lots of powerful people. Sometimes she has tea with them.
Oh, okay. Does she know a Galen Cole?
Nah, never heard that name before.
He's a jaunty old fellow with blonde hair, I think.
Nah, don't know him.
Apparently he also time travels.
Oh, talking about time travelers, huh? Yeah, Callista knows a time traveler.
Did we?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Phaedra
Yeah.
knows.
I mean, Lunessa didn't, but it's fine that I don't remember.
Phaedra is looking at the little girl now, hearing the name Callista.
So, all the guests, everyone who like comes and visits, like they all leave fine, right?
Oh, that depends. Some of them never leave.
Oh, and where do they go?
Well, some of them, the puppet kind of turns a bit on Irk's hand and looks up at the shelf around you guys.
Okay, and what did they do wrong so that they needed to stay here? Or right, depending on how she thinks of it?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
What did they do right or wrong depending on how she views the situation that
Roll,
they
roll a persuasion check.
permanent stay
Oh my
here?
god.
Oh wait, I'm wrong.
I'm just gonna teleport out of here. I'm done with this. It's fine, roll. Multi-class into bard.
Wait,
I thought it was somebody else. I was wrong. I just pulled out my notes.
you're gonna have to remind me of who you're talking about then.
Yeah, it was Cassandra.
Oh yeah. I was about to say no.
Yeah.
It's like the thing.
Yep.
Wait
Nope.
a second. When did I ever
Nope.
use the name?
Nope.
Did I use it 2 years ago when I started and
No.
I've forgotten?
No.
Because that happens. I'm bad with
I-
names.
It was just similar, and I didn't have my
Yeah,
notes
they're
out.
both similar.
Yeah. I like
I
freaked out.
made the same mistake.
Yeah, I was just like, oh fuck, shit just got real.
Yeah, I guess to me that's similar because I have a lot of names that have a lot of those sounds together.
Yeah. Sorry. for my
No,
freak
no,
out.
no, no.
You
That's okay. I was
apologies.
like trying to make sure. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah. The name sounds familiar, but probably for
Yeah.
other reasons. I don't know why.
But okay. So yeah, sorry. So kind of broke apart for a second there.
Sorry, that's my bad.
No worries.
So
what-
the
what
doll
did
just
you do?
informed you that some of them are still around and is looking up at the other dolls along the wall.
Yeah, but that was specifically the question to ask. What did they do wrong or right to stay here? Does he answer that at all?
Well, if they don't do what Callista says, they're more likely to stay here. Of course, some of them serve that Orcus fella.
Orcus.
Yeah, Callista hates Orcus.
Oh, okay, yeah. We definitely don't serve Orcus, I think.
Good.
Who is this Orcus?
Viren, are you just pretending right now?
Oh, do we actually know an Orcus? I'm sorry.
I think we know the
That's
Orcus.
Yeah, especially you, Viren, would know who Orcus is.
Yeah.
You tried to join one of his cults once.
Alright, yeah, Bear's not gonna say anything, sorry.
He does that every Tuesday.
The player had a mind gap. Sorry about that.
It's fine.
I don't remember what cults I tried to join.
There's so many.
Yeah, like
Anyway,
Oh
sorry
my
about
God.
that. But no, my Bear doesn't say anything.
The little girl's face is kind of contorts, and she says, "I hate zombies.
I
They're all
agree, they
ugly
think-
and stinky."
Yes.
We don't like them either.
Yeah, no. We helped kill a whole bunch of them. And stopped like in cult of evil necromancers. I mean, I didn't. I wasn't there. God damn it! The brain.
Vader was though.
Didn't you guys deal with a cult of Orcus?
Yes.
The little girl gasps, and at this point, Sherry, you no longer feel compelled to face the wall. You look like you can now get up.
We actually went and basically desecrated a temple to Orcus.
The little girl claps all enthusiastically. Tell me!
Well,
There was an undead beholder.
there was, as well as undead bullets, and this weird crystal creature that kept coming in and out of portals, wanting to steal some of us away, it seemed. There was a
Crystal creature?
Yeah,
That's new.
red fur.
Wait,
crystals popping out.
red
of it,
fur.
Many arms.
Was this a mirror?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you met her. Oh, that means she's coming back again.
You know of her.
Of course. Who doesn't? Oh, that's right. You're mortals. Hee keep forgetting.
I'm curious. What's your familiarity with her?
Oh well, we all know of her. The queen used to use her as a way of controlling things. But that was a very, very long time ago.
The Queen?
The girl nods.
that demon queen I mentioned.
Yes, yes, the Demon Queen. Once the queen of all, but once she was sealed away, well, no one rules the abyss anymore. But I make bad people sit in their rooms.
Well, we are not bad people.
That little invisible man is a bad person. He ruined the tea. He ruined my tea party.
It's called
Troublemaker.
discipline, child.
He's a troublemaker.
But he's not a
But-
bad person. Sorry.
If it wasn't for him, that temple would not be buried.
Roll Shiori, roll persuasion with advantage.
Nice.
She kind of seems to relax somewhat. All right, I won't send him to his room if he brings me more cakes. Good cakes, not the disgusting cakes.
Which ones are the good ones?
Oh, the little frosted ones are excellent.
And what's the magic word? Will says as he turns himself visible.
Oh god.
She turns and points a finger at Will. You will do it. You will behave,
What's the word?
or you will go to your room.
What's the
Yes,
word?
well,
I'm disciplining a child. Shush. Would you like someone to do something for you?
Will,
Fight it out of existence.
roll a persuasion check.
And this is how Will dies.
What's the magic word? Points a finger, finger of death. Oh, God.
Oh
What's the magic word?
Her face is just contorting into something much more ugly and angry. And the lower register voice just booms out in command, saying, "You will bring cake, or you will go to your room." Wisdom saving throw at advantage, please, Will. All right, you're not under compulsion, but what do you wish to do?
If you don't know the magic word, it's please. So, how do you say it?
And she's still pointing at you, and there are things rattling behind you at this point. And the rest of you guys, because you guys are all looking in his direction, see the dolls on the shelf behind him are starting to move,
Willie's just standing there smiling at her.
and some of them are at least as big as Will.
Will,
Yes, Phaedra.
behind you.
Well, I think you're gonna have to just concede this one.
I am a stubborn man, and you're a naughty child. I just turn my cloak and go invisible.
The dolls attempt to launch themselves at the spot where Will had been standing and kind of collided to the floor. And some of them pick themselves up and start moving around the room. The little girl
Vader's
does not
gonna-
look pleased.
Yeah, Fader's going to try to change the subject and get her back to happy Callista. So she's going to kind of like lean forward on the table. Did I mention that we desecrated an altar?
The ugly face she's making changes as she turns her black eyes towards Phaedra. Which altar? What did you do?
Well, there was an altar, and it was it had this giant crystal thing that had all these like bioluminescent like tendrils that came off of it, but underneath it there was this like gear imprint, like it was almost like a machine, but
Ooh.
it was something to. It was definitely an altar to Orcus, and I poured acid all over it.
She claps her hands together.
Can I? Is it possible for me to take the puppet off?
Roll an athletics check.
Oh, come on. Struggling to take it off.
You're a big, strong barbarian. You can do it.
Athletics. Oh wait, athletics, right?
Yep.
How am I? Okay, I guess I'm good at athletics.
Yeah. The thing just pops right off, and you hear an "ow" coming from the doll as it lays there.
I didn't like drop it. I just
No,
placed it on the table.
Apparently, the act of pulling your hand out was enough to make the doll wince.
Oh, sorry. Kind of just says sorry while placing it down gently. My hands are sore.
So you see, we're good people. We were here to just explore this cube thing.
Oh, you found the cube. Oh, you must have gotten here through the cube. Oh, it's been a while. Usually mortals don't find their way through there.
Well, we were quite lucky. Some of us are quite smart. Was able
And I'm
to
good at playing music.
put on a very good show as well.
Indeed.
And others we had to. It was interesting how each way, like, there was a peaceful option to get through, as well as sometimes, violence is the answer. Taps the battle axe at her side.
The little girl nods, and she gestures up at a group of smaller dolls in one of the glass-fronted cabinets nearby that you probably hadn't seen before, since there's so many dolls in this room. And you notice what definitely looks like a miniature adventuring party in various clothes that are just kind of. They're not like human-sized dolls. They're more like the bigger action figure sort of things, like the easy-to-pose ones.
Do they actually look like us?
They don't look like you, but they do look like they do look like an adventuring party.
Adventurers.
Damn it.
Like a dragonborn, a dwarf, a gnome, a halfling, a tiefling, that sort of thing. Like,
I
yeah.
will kind of speak up a little bit and be like, "Hey, question. Is it possible to make a doll that looks like us without actually using our bodies?"
She kind of blinks at you as if not understanding the question.
Like, I kind of want a little mini me.
Roll a persuasion check.
No. I kind of wanted to use it so I could like use it in my my plays, my musical plays.
She doesn't actually respond to your question, but she just continues to stare at you as if not understanding why you're asking this.
I was hoping to maybe use it, play music with me.
Music with me.
Kind of just slouches back in the chair.
If you don't mind me asking,
The girl looks at
where
you.
are we?
You're in my home.
there a certain plane of existence we are in?
Well, you usually call it the abyss.
Understood. Is there a way to get back to where we came from without a long trek through the abyss?
She makes a frowny face. I can put you back in the cube.
That would be helpful. I mean, we are searching for more of, like I said, Galen Cole, but I will be frank with you. Any of the Orcus things, it seems to be tied to him in some sense. He seems to be using that. So,
She lets out a gasp. This
Yes.
Galen Cole is really bad. Then, if I
Yes.
if I find him, if he shows up here, he will not be getting tea. I will send him to his room.
I most appreciate that.
Can I insight the girl to see if she's lying?
Go for it.
Okay, it's a flat roll, but yeah, Phaedra's like cocking an eyebrow at this. I'm like, oh, it's actually +1. Yeah, it don't matter. Fuck it.
Yeah, she seems to be telling as much truth as you
Yeah.
can make it, but not knowing anything about her other than
Mhm.
the appearance is of a little girl, and she seems to be acting like a little girl, except one with the infinite, power of this realm.
Mhm.
It's hard to tell.
It's fine.
And for all you know, this could just be a slight phase that this particular individual goes through.
Yeah, she just cocks an eyebrow. Just listening.
Yes.
So she said before she wanted Will to go and fetch new cookies and such.
Yeah, the little frosted cakes. She was talking about frosted cakes.
Oh, frosted cakes.
Yeah.
Will is gonna go and look for the kitchen or whatever where it is.
Alright. You heading down the way she came, or the other passageway?
The way she came.
Okay. Yeah, so heading down the hallway. Roll me a perception check.
Nice.
Alright. So, you get far away from the rest of your party. You go down the hall, continue to walk, continue to walk, continue to walk, and eventually you stop in front of a large closed door where you see that imp that you saw earlier that seemed to have been transported with you. It's kind of like backed up against the wall and seems to be playing with its hands like it's terrified.
I go visible and go. Seen any frosted cakes?
Oh, you're still here. You're still alive. You're still here. Good.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
good. I'm trying to make
Frosted
sure
cake.
she doesn't see me.
Frosted cakes?
I don't have any.
Why did you get teleported here with us?
I think it's because I was sitting on the same side of the wall as the rest of you. I thought going into that field with the court of chaos would be bad. I didn't think that I'd be teleported to Callista's. This is not good.
Oh, well, she's serving tea. If you just happen to sit around the
No,
table,
no,
you
no,
can
no,
go
no,
in
no.
there.
She would. No, that would not be good. I don't. No.
She wouldn't like you, would she?
No. She. The imp shivers.
Hmm. Anything else around here? Have you seen anything?
There's a bedroom with lots more dolls in there.
Hmm. Yes.
Oh,
Right.
then the imp thinks for a moment. But there's another door. I saw that butler thing kind of go through the wall at this one point there, and the imp describes the space between that's basically in what would be considered a natural darkness between the spaces where everything else is like evenly spaced out with the lights on the wall that make it look like it has windows, or possibly windows that don't see anything except red.
Mm.
And there's a little everything is evenly spaced except for this one little gap area, which is dark, and it's like your mind doesn't. It was kind of like when when Claire was at the table. Like basically your mind just says nothing's there
Ah,
until you think about it for a second and go, "Oh wait, I passed by a doorway." But this one was unnaturally darkness with a nothing's there sort of vibe to it.
ah.
The
Do you
imp
think
says-
that's an exit or the kitchen?
I think that's the kitchen. The imp says,
Right.
because all there is a bedroom back there.
Oh, I'll head over there and get a cake and just mock the little girl.
Yes, I really wouldn't tease Callista, not if you want to ever leave this place again.
Well, she should be a little nicer to her guests.
Well, to be fair, we kind of just appeared in front of her. It's not like she invited us here for tea.
Still, guests are guests.
Maybe you should tell her that. The
Well, I
imp just
tried,
kind of...
but she tried to force me to sit down and stand in a corner and go to her room. That's not really nice. Are you sure you don't want to join us?
I'm sure. I'm just trying to figure out a way to get away from her.
Well, maybe you could, investigate the bedroom.
Dolls. Lots of
Or
dolls.
I could tell Celeste that you're here.
There are so many dolls in there. Roll persuasion.
Would this be intimidation?
Okay, intimidation or persuasion, either way.
It's the same, but
The imp's like, nope. I am not. I am just as terrified as that room is being found out by Callista. It's just as terrifying. The imp just,
alright.
the imp just kind of whimpers.
I won't do it. Don't worry about it. Well, I'll go and get a tray of those frosted cakes or cookies or whatever they were called. Bah.
The imp
spoiled
nods.
brat.
As you go off to...
If I find her parents, I will let them have a word. I will have a word with them.
Don't think she has parents. She's a demon.
Well, in that case, I would have to lecture her myself. Now, I'm off. Have fun.
The imp just sits there even as you wander into a kitchen filled with faceless. Some of them working...
I'll go invisible before I enter the kitchen.
Okay. Some of them are working, at stoves and rolling things out. Others appear to be more waiters or butler types.
I'll just look for the frosted cakes that she probably has a fucking shit
Yeah.
ton of, and just put them on a tray and walk out with the invisible tray.
All right.
Yeah, 18 in my charisma.
Nice. Same.
All right.
Phaedra's AFK, but she's listening to the stream.
Okay.
So she said we can go on.
Mm-hmm.
Is Will dead?
You don't know.
Yeah, how you did?
You don't know.
Anyway, so we're talking to this little lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This, like I said, Galen is either working with him, this Orcus, or using his powers. Either way, not good.
Sounds like I'm gonna have to go teach Orcus another lesson.
Another lesson?
She nods.
You mean you've dealt with Orcus before?
Yeah, he's tried to invade my land before, and I've had to beat him back. And go ahead and smash his little city.
Yeah. She nods. Honestly, my mission is to find and eventually destroy Galen. And it only gets worse the more he deals with people like Orcus.
Why do you want to smash this Galen Cola than for Orcus? Because of Orcus.
Because he destroyed my family.
She nods.
To be frank.
Well, if I hear about him, I will send him to his room.
Greatly appreciated. She gives a bit of like a nod bow, basically. And that is what I'm trying to say is that is the only reason I wish to go back is so I may continue my search for him.
And she
If
nods.
possible.
You want to go back to the cube?
And if that's the way back to where
If that's the only way back to where we came from, like where we came from before the cube.
She makes a
then
shrug.
I-
I don't know where it's linked to this time.
yes.
It links to other places.
It might be best to go there, that way we can guarantee we will exit. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Will?
Yes.
If you want, you can do it now, or you can wait. Up to you. Just let me know.
I brought a gift. What's the magic word?
Bill.
That's not the magic word. Why would that be the magic word? Why would my name be the magic word?
Don't stop causing trouble.
Oh my god!
Nice.
Quentin is telling Tobias to stop causing trouble.
Yeah.
Ah, my, how the table turns.
Look, I know.
It's quite the twist, isn't it?
I know.
Oh god.
Now I'm still waiting.
Oh, that's just funny.
Never would I ever have thought I would see Quentin, of all people, tell someone to stop causing trouble.
What? I'm only fucking with a demon lord.
I would expect no less.
Yeah, Will
From
Will likes to mess with the most powerful people he can find.
He is
Live your
another
life to the fullest.
Yep.
Carpe diem.
And the Callista, upon hearing your voice, says, "I want my cake
Then the magic word would be appropriate.
now."
That's still not it, but... I tell you what, everyone seems to be spoiling you anyway.
Put the cakes on the table.
So, which
Now
means
the
that,
magic word
which
is
means
please.
which means they appear in front of everyone.
Yeah.
And
The magic word is please. And for the next people that the guests that you have, maybe try to use it on them. They'll appreciate it.
persuasion.
Oh,
The little cakes start leaving the tray on their own accord and land on the little plates in front of Urk, Phaedra, Lunissa, and Viren. The teapot also, which seems to be steaming again for some reason, also starts pouring out tea in front of the four of you as well. There we go, fresh hot tea and cakes. Eat up.
Will take a bite.
It's a new food, so roll Constitution saving throw just to see.
Constitution saving throw.
I think Will is gonna be ready to
Hey.
This is the most delicious cake you have ever had anywhere.
I pigged down. Oh my god.
She points a finger at Irk and goes, "Manners!" And a napkin just suddenly appears on your lap, and another one tucks itself into into. Well, actually, you don't have a shirt, so another one kind of wraps it around your neck and hangs down a bit like a bib.
A little girl speaks of manners.
My bad. Kinda picks up a knife and fork and starts eating cake like that.
Or he's pinching the bridge of her nose at Urk at the moment.
Guys, you gotta try this cake. It's so good.
Anyone else, or just Irk?
I will try some cake as well, I guess.
And you make the same roll because you've never had it before. Your prophecy came true. You are allergic to this. It feels toxic to you, Lanissa. Let's see.
Oh god.
You take 6 points of damage as your stomach seems to be bleeding out, bleeding internally from something in that cake.
Oh god.
I can't believe that it was a nat 20 and a nat 1 in the same right back to back. Oh, fuck no.
Oh lord.
Can we go now? I don't feel well.
Phaedra and Viren, what about you?
I'll take a sip of tea.
Yeah, that's what Fader was gonna do too, is take a sip of tea.
Alright. Have you guys had hibiscus tea before?
Phaedra's had a fair amount of tea with Shiori, but I don't believe ever had hibiscus.
I think that's the right kind of tea I'm thinking of, right? That's not something specifically poisonous or medicinal I'm thinking of, is it?
No, it's fruity. Hibiscus.
So I could have sworn it's 40 tea.
Pink color. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pink
Which,
color tea.
again, is why hibiscus tea came to mind, because pink, pink, pink.
Yeah.
This room is very pink.
Yeah. Not only just the dolls, but this room is giving me a very Dolores Umbridge kind of feel to it, and I don't.
I was not thinking of her when I put this together.
All the pink.
I was just thinking of a creepy little girl in a pink dress with black eyes is like, a surprising demon lord. So, because I like to make I like to make unusual demon lords. I don't like to make the the typical rah, I'm gonna kill everything demon lord. No, I like to make the freaky things that will creep you out in a horror movie, but in a thinking man's horror movie rather than a slasher horror movie. The demon lord.
Yep, there's a whole bunch. Hibiscus is basically like just kind of like an additive that you put to tea. So you can have green hibiscus, like oolong hibiscus. Like there's all sorts of different hibiscus type tea, but it usually gives it a little bit of a pink tinge.
Okay.
Yeah. So
little Miss Tea Queen over here.
So I'm thinking that Phaedra has possibly had a bit of hibiscus tea at some point, just in her tea drinking over the years.
maybe when she was in Schultz, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
So
think
that just leaves Viren.
And yes, I'm a tea junkie.
I don't know.
No, it's good.
Honestly. Hang on. He hasn't.
Alright. If you drink the tea, you must roll the Constitution saving throw, just to see if you're allergic to it or not. Oh god!
Oh,
That's double that
Jesus
one.
Christ.
holy fuck.
Okay, this is even more toxic to you than it is to Lanissa.
Really?
At least you don't have like
Your
20
entire stomach, it feels like it's on fire. Blood starts trickling down your nose, and you completely throw up over the side of everything as it with bloody vomit just covering the floor as the little girl
Okay.
wrinkles her nose.
Yeah.
take
Why
it,
are
I
you
take 18
poisoning
point-
your guests? That's
I
very
take it I
rude.
take 18 points of damage.
Yep, you took 18 points of damage.
Well, I'm almost at half my health already.
Yeah, sure, would probably move over.
Yeah.
Past.
Aaron, are you
The little
okay?
girl wrinkles her eyes. Ew! That's gross!
T didn't really agree with me, I guess.
I think he might be allergic to that.
No, she kind of narrows her eyes at him. Is he a necromancer?
Not to my knowledge.
Because that tea, my tea is special. It does extra damage to necromancers. If
I
it's
think
not
I'm just
accepted.
allergic.
Well, I don't know. Are you a necromancer, Viren?
Well, what do you think?
Will, fucking drop the subject.
Lanissa,
you
Lanissa,
think Will,
Lanissa,
the
you
person
don't.
who pisses off a
L-
demon.
Lanissa,
Yeah.
you have no idea. You have no idea. You have no stake in
I
this.
saw him trying to get recruited to a cult of Orcus.
Wait,
Sure.
Will, are you saying this out loud?
No.
Okay,
Is
no,
that-
no,
is
no.
this the
I
character
was
voice?
no. I was telling Lanissa that Lanissa has no way of knowing whether or not Varen
Oh.
is that because Lanissa was trying to hush up Will, but Lanissa would have no idea whether Varen is a necromancer or not, whereas Will perfectly knows.
Yep,
The
yeah, because I
next
haven't
big
really
guess-
done anything necromancy in Linus's
Mm-hmm.
eyes.
Yeah,
The
I
only
could-
real necromantic thing I did was false life.
Yeah, but I
That's
can't
just a
presume
spell.
that thinking that he's a necromancer is a bad thing, right?
What?
No, I'm just gonna drop it.
Necromancers are bad. Bad. If he's a necromancer, he has to go to his room.
I helped Phaedra deal with some necromancers that were part of the cult of Orcus back
Roll
in the
persuasion.
graveyard. It's the truth.
This is
I
true.
have
It
help
is.
from
Roll
I
persuasion.
have the other
Yeah.
people saying yes as well.
Can I do
Phaedra
the
was-
help action?
Yes, you may.
Give you what you do. Stand behind him and give him a thumbs up.
Well, because Shuri knows
I've-
that they were part of that.
I have everyone saying that I
It was
did do
Rhiannon.
that.
It was Rhiannon that was part of that. But he wouldn't know that.
She seems to be having her black eyes locked on Viren at the moment,
Yeah, so it
gazing
was
right at him.
You, Rhiannon, Gamma, and others.
I only went to the temple, Varen.
I was mostly referring to
Yeah.
Shiori. Shiori knew.
No,
Told me
yeah,
to-
I met Viren there at the graveyard.
Yes, you were staking it out looking for the cultists.
Mhm.
Yes. He was also looking for the cultists.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
We all were.
Well, you were on your own.
Can't someone investigate alone?
I'm pretty sure I can
Well,
say
no, of course. Everyone can
all causing
investigate alone.
problems.
I'm just saying, Viren, I worry about it.
You worry about a lot of things.
Yeah, I do. I do worry about a lot of things. That is true.
If it wasn't for Varen discovering that, we wouldn't have found the headquarters, nor would we have found the entrance to the
And I
temple.
appreciate it.
Phaedra, also roll persuasion.
Why is Will throwing me under the bus? Seriously.
I don't know.
I just got to level 10.
fuck.
I don't want to die instantly. I don't want to
That's-
lose my only level 10.
I'm just making this situation way more scary for everyone. And it's
Yeah, it's fine.
Will is definitely piquing the interest of those with linked to chaos because he just seems to be having too much fun with that. So the little girl's face seems to relax a bit as she glances at Phaedra, and she nods. How was your tea?
That was good. I've had hibiscus before.
It's lovely, isn't it? And she sips her own tea.
Do you enjoy tea?
Oh, I love tea. I love having people for tea parties. I don't have enough guests for tea parties, just the dolls. But I love playing with the dolls, too.
Oh, here.
Mr. Tea Time is very chatty with other people.
How about this? In exchange for, us going back.
You
Would
want to go
like,
back into the cube?
I think that would be best.
Okay.
I mean, do we have another option?
She makes a strange face for a moment. Well, I might be able to get you transported somewhere.
Where? May I ask?
I guess that depends. I can ask Alyssa.
Who is Alyssa?
Oh, she's a friend. She shows up here sometimes. She's that time traveler I was telling you about.
Hmm.
Now this one we heard of, right? The parts of the names are really confusing me.
Sorry, it happens to be linked together a series of characters that have names. This one's Kalista. The other one that was mentioned is Lissa. And then there was, of course, Cassandra that was mentioned.
Okay.
I don't have that name written down.
Okay. The names are just so closely
Yeah,
similar that it's hard to...
Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
you're fine.
Ouch.
Time traveler.
Well, she's known as the Guardian of Time where she comes from.
Oh boy.
Wait. Wasn't Rhiannon talking about some connection with Galen Cole and needing to talk to somebody who dealt with time?
Yes.
Yes, but we decided we didn't have time with that.
Looks at the invisible space to the left of her.
You see nothing.
I heard it. She's looking where she knows Will is, and just kind of like. Well, what? Would she have some information, maybe? I don't know.
Time shy. Now Sherry's like torn. 'Cause she wants to get out of here, but
Yeah. Can we at least talk to Alyssa
She's
and maybe make a decision?
she's not here. I can ask her to come, maybe. The little girl thinks for a moment.
Well, here I
You did
was
tell
gonna
me
give
an
you
interesting
this-
story about Orcus's being defeated. Well, Orcus's minions being defeated. That's entertaining.
And for the next time you decide to have tea, and she will push a one of the small pouches of the jungle special tea that she has.
Her black eyes seem to light up somehow. She whisks it away.
Is that diamonds in her eyes?
Gifts.
And you're spoiling her again.
If she can provide any sort of information or link to Galen Cole, it's worth it.
Sherry
If you
nods.
If you could, that would be most appreciated.
Okay, you want me to talk to her right now? I can do that.
Oh boy.
Thank you.
And she gets down off of her chair, and she runs out of the room, back down the hall, the hallway that she originally appeared out of.
Will appears. Ha! Alright. so now I have to deal with another person, probably.
If she is a keeper of time and might have, that's the only thing we know about finding him. It's not where he is. It's combination
When.
of where and when. Yeah.
Yeah.
If she is a keeper of time, she could be the key. Have some sort of information. We can at least talk to her.
Well, yeah.
We should leave no stone unturned. We have run into many dead ends. All of these. Even though that, what was that person that appeared out of nowhere? Name, I forget.
Jester?
No.
Oh.
Fuck. See something. Chloe?
No, it was
Claire.
Claire.
Claire. Thank you, Sherry.
Yes.
Even Claire said that we weren't at dead ends, but it just seemed like it. Maybe this will be the answer for everything we've been trying to figure out.
Alright. But stop spoiling that child. She's already nasty as it is.
She's also the ruler of this area.
It doesn't matter.
It is when she can bend the reality of this land.
Nope.
Will,
Playing
please.
Smart.
I am Will, more stubborn than a demon lord.
Phaedra chuckle.
I will make sure that is on the gravestone.
I swear, guys, we
you.
need like a Twitter or a Tumblr or a Reddit or something like that just for the quotes. Just for quotes.
Oh,
Famous
and by the
last
way,
word.
Someone other than me
while
to put
she's-
them up.
More stubborn than a demon lord.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
she-
Last word.
out of context. That it's got to be the one of the great lines.
While she's not around, the imp that was in the room hiding with us, he's here as well, and he's highly terrified. It's hilarious. I tried to force him to, scout for me, but he was just too scared.
So that's what the intimidation was. I love it.
Oh my god.
I threatened to tell her about it.
And how well did that go?
Well, he was too scared to move anyway, so I decided it wasn't fun.
Oh well.
So Callista comes back, and she has said imp tucked under one arm, kind of
Oh.
like.
You found him!
Kind of like one of those small children that picks up a cat that is reluctant to be picked
Oh,
up,
no.
but also at the same time knows better than to claw at a child.
In a huggy sort of crisp sort of thing.
Yeah, in the
Does
I'm
it
tucked under
leg
one
bang
arm.
like
I
that?
don't dare move because this child scares the crap out of me.
I didn't give you away. You have a good hiding spot.
The imp just looks scared, being tucked under one arm. Okay, she's coming. And look, I found a new pet.
Oh dear.
And she just like basically picks the imp up from under her arm by both wings and just kind of dances it. The imp has this panicked expression. And we are going to take a quick break so I can go use the bathroom.
Look,
Okay.
I
Okay.
do not want to push my luck.
Will is gonna
Try to
do
save
it
him.
for you.
Yeah, Will, please stop.
I'm having so
fine if-
much fun.
It's fine if you push. It's fine if you push your own luck, but don't push anyone else's luck.
I'm pushing all of our luck. There's
Oh
more
my God.
combined.
Oh my god.
First,
love it.
first I shit talked a dragon to his face,
Uh-huh.
and now I'm trying to discipline a demon lord.
And also somewhat try and throw
Fear and number.
Baron under the bus. Yeah.
No, well.
You asking those questions and saying those things definitely are leading to trying to push Viren under the bus?
Well, I'm just trying to get Vera to open up.
He doesn't want to, goddammit. He's
I mean,
surrounded by
come at
people-
it.
one way or another, I'm gonna make you open up.
He's surrounded by people
Oh
who
my God.
hate undead.
Come on, come out of the closet, Baron. Come out of the
To
closet.
be fair, this might be a subject that now is going to be talked about away from the Demon Lord.
Well, I mean, any place is as good as another.
No, I'm just saying, Shiori's now questioning something, so it's fine.
But
Hmm.
Viren's given the good answers.
Yes,
Sure,
but he
he's not
wasn't very
tempered-
persuasive.
And Will
I
is
mean, he's
worried
just-
about Weren.
Right.
He
Can you
doesn't
guys hear
want
the
the
cat?
poor child to go down the wrong path.
The way Will's saying it is Shiori's going to like probably question Will first, more so than anything else.
Whoa.
Why?
Oh no.
This is bad.
Going to basically
Viren
just be
does
like,
not like this.
why were you basically like, what the fuck are you alluding to here?
Okay, I think I missed something interesting. What did I miss?
Nah, just talking.
It's
I'm
fine.
feeling
Can you hear the cat, guys? Can you hear the
Nah.
cat?
Will is just making
We'll
conversation.
just put
eventually
Viren
happen.
Will
in a
is a
very
hazard.
awkward spot for when we get out of here.
You're a hazard, Will.
He is.
Bill, is this gonna get you all killed?
Yep,
No, we'll probably get Viren
quite
killed.
possibly.
But hey, we'll go out spectacular.
Yeah, I'll play the music at your funeral.
Which will be the same time that you die. I mean.
Hey, I never said that I was going to be playing it. Wait, hold on.
But didn't you just say I would be playing music? What?
Yeah, then. I mean,
I'm confused.
On the
it's
on the
possible
next plane
if
of
necromancy
existence.
is involved.
Precisely. I could use major illusion.
I don't
right?
know why people have such a problem with necromancers. They're just trying to raise a family.
Does major illusion need concentration?
Yes.
Hmm,
So
damn.
what do you call it when a necromancer brings up morale? He raises your spirits.
Ha 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 ha.
Oh, you're funny.
Ah.
to be fair, I think what Shiori's gonna plan to do is basically when next time she sees the log graph, tell him, "Oh yeah, by the way, this person has one of your imps." Good luck with that.
What if Lograph's the dad? Dun 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 dun.
He is gay?
He adopted her. We don't know.
Precisely. Adoption is always a possibility. Or surprise adoption.
Wait, what? I think that's just what happened to the imp.
Oh, I was smoking a cigarette. God damn
The
it.
imp was just. Oh, shite.
That's some good shit. Oh yeah. You guys want to hear something exciting? If I don't find a place to stay at, I've always got a room at my ex's place.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Fun. So Rick, you think a little bit more about my offer, being roommates?
I mean, the answer's probably still the same.
I mean, there's a couple of places right next door to it that's looking for work.
Ooh.
So
It's not great if I don't get the job. if I don't get a job.
Mm. Could always put in a resume and say if you get the job, you could be maybe replaced.
Hmm.
It's the Food Works on. You know where the Food Works is? That's next to Subway and all that, right?
Sure, totally.
That confidence, though.
He doesn't get out of the house that much. You know where the TAFE is, right?
Yes.
And if you keep going down that road, you'll come across this big, huge surf sort of thing. Not as big as Teen Club, but still kind of big. With the that used to have a Video Easy store or something.
Okay.
I'll send you a fucking map thing.
Hmm.
Might be easier.
Map.
Anyway, we all back?
Where is this Time Lord fella? I want to piss her off as well.
Phaedra's not back yet.
Yeah, I started drinking my coffee, and then all of a sudden I found out that the coffee actually has bad milk in it. So that was fun.
Well,
Hmm.
that's a lesson for you. No more milk.
What? Yeah, I usually don't have milk with my coffees, but I was like, I want to drink it straight away. So I put a little bit more milk there in hot water. Tried to make like a sort of a iced coffee sort of shit.
Drink it scalding hot and just learn to like it.
I'll try that next time. I'm pretty sure my taste buds will enjoy that.
Yes, they will. Eventually.
Well, if there is any taste buds left after.
Only the strong survive.
Fucking hell. I might have to get Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I had that. Still haven't. I've played some of it. I still haven't gotten back to it yet.
Is it the same like Origins or?
I haven't played Origins. I played Odyssey because finally, they have basically the choice between two different lead characters, male and female. So, like, finally, I actually have one where I'm playing as a female character in the Assassin's Creed.
Didn't the
I mean, it's not the
Victorian
first time.
one have that as well?
Sorry, what?
There was a Victorian one that had that as well, wasn't there?
Yeah. Yeah,
that
there was.
I'm talking about one of the main.
Syndicate or
I'm talking about one of the main games versus the little
Yeah.
side games
No,
you got on
yeah.
PSP and such.
Syndicate was a game. Was it Syndicate?
I
I
think,
think
it was.
Syndicate is more like where you were an evil person or some shit, wasn't it?
It's been a while.
Yeah. I mean, I've never played any Assassin's Creed games except for the first two, and I got really bored.
Yeah, I
with the
I played the
fucking
original trilogy, which
shit.
is actually 5 games.
Yeah.
I really liked it story wise, because that's the thing. I really liked the framing story, the framing story all with Desmond and all that. And then once they got the new character, the new framed characters, it was less interesting until we got to Odyssey, which is like I studied a lot of Greek mythology back when I was a kid, and I loved Greek mythology back then. It was like, yeah.
I mean,
I need to get back to
100%
play it some more.
completed number one, but I didn't enjoy completing it.
Aw.
I was really bored of it, especially having to travel like fucking 5 minutes just to get to a town.
Yeah, some of those games had problems like that.
Mm,
But I was pulled in by the story, so
I guess that one.
yeah. So we're just waiting on shuttle. Is that it?
Yep. It's pretty much it.
All right.
Oh yeah, I ended up going up against a boss, like an actual boss, like the infamous boss. I was only like level 11. The boss was level 40.
In
The thing about it
in
was,
what?
yeah, in Origins, like
Oh.
this big, huge
Yeah, I don't know.
Anubis
I don't
statue
know Origins at
came up.
all.
That's why I was trying to make a picture for you. It was like this big, huge Anubis statue
I
thing
love
coming to life,
Anubis.
throwing out hellhounds and plague cloud. If I had the time and if I really wanted to put in the effort, I could have killed him, but it was taking way too long. Like
Mm.
after an hour, I got it to like quarter health.
I've fought bosses like that.
I'm back.
Yay! Welcome back, Shuttle. We
Welcome
missed
back.
you.
Bagel.
Everyone else back? We all ready?
Hmm.
I
Alrighty.
think we all
Bring
are.
on the next victim.
So yes, Callista has returned to the room. She's currently playing with the imp, who looks very unhappy about it. And from the passageway to the south of you, the one you got none of you have looked down. Another little girl appears. This one is wearing a. This one looks same physical age as Callista. She is dressed in a black dress though. Uh, she has long red hair, but she also has pure black eyes. As she walks in and stops and looks carefully at all of you guys.
What is it with these demons and their black eyes?
Did you say that out loud as character?
No. That'd be pretty bad. I'm just saying, what is it with like everything having black eyes? Like, come on. Surely something's up. Does the room change your eyes to black or something?
Well, as you
Maybe
guys
they have dark vision.
as you guys are just staring at her, she's just like gazing, sweeping the room a bit. And she comes
That
over to the
kind
tea
of
table and sits down as Glista retakes her seat. And tea just starts filling her cup as the tea pot just kind of picks itself up and pours for her. And she starts sipping along with Callista.
You must be Alyssa.
The girl nods. Oh, the red-haired girl nods. Yes, I am Alyssa.
My name is Phaedra.
Phaedra, hello. And she sips her tea. Are you having a pleasant tea with us?
I am. The tea didn't agree with one other, but
Two of your party actually.
well,
Lunissa didn't agree with the tea either.
but that was a cake. I thought.
Yeah, that was the case.
Eric was the
Yeah.
cake.
Oh, that's I thought it was the tea. Oh, that's right. No, it's the cake. That's right. And
Viren
Viren
was
was
the
the
one
one who
that
got poisoned by the tea. Yeah.
Baron's the one who got the tea, and I think Eric.
And it was Urk that loved the cakes, and I imagine hoarded a bunch of them.
Yeah.
The cake was delicious.
Callista says that you are a time traveler.
I am known as the guardian of time for my world. I ensure my existence. Ensure that there are no paradoxes. Prior to my existence.
Very nice.
Wanted to ask you a couple questions, actually.
All right.
We've been searching for quite some time for an individual. It appears that we had been looking for a location when we should have been looking for when in time they are located. I'm curious if possible you have any information, ties, or
Who is this individual?
Galen Cole.
And she nods. Yes, I know of him. He is upset because he cannot alter time. Because he is of my world, and the things he wishes to alter would prevent my existence. Therefore, I do not let him alter them.
We need to find him.
He is not currently on my world. I would sense him if he was.
And apologies. Your world is
Alaris.
Oh my god.
He has come to Armus and many